Hey there, welcome to MTC Studios production of Zen. Putting your mind at ease around all the new features of Windows 10 as we bring the best of the old and combine it with the
new.
Put it together in pure 10 goodness
That
for you, the user. What?
Have you seen the commercial for the new pizza with hot dogs in it?
No, I have not.
It's in a commercial where they take a pizza and a hot dog and they squish it together.
Well,
That's
there you
what
go.
this is like.
This is better than that. This is better than pizza and hot dogs together. This is Windows 10.
Yeah.
So we've been in past videos, if you haven't seen them, we've done things like take a look at the start menu, return of the start menu, the successor to the Charms, Son of Charms, known as the Action Center. We've looked at how you can customize the start menu, how you transition between desktop and tablet mode, how you personalize your experience, look and feel. And today we are going to take a look at the Edge. Edge browser.
The more titles you kept saying, the more they sound like sci-fi movies. Return of the start menu, Son of
That's
Charms.
because those are all epic in this. Windows 10. Edge is epic. There should be a movie just about this browser. It's so incredibly awesome. So we're going to talk about the Edge browser. Now, many folks are familiar with Microsoft's Internet Explorer. It's been around for years. But Edge is the brand new browser by Microsoft that is the default one for Windows 10 that you get. Now,
So
if you
instead of the what we're used to in Windows 8 and 8.1, the mobile Internet Explorer, this is all new because there was Internet Explorer Desktop and Internet Explorer App, which
yes, and so this is all new. This yeah. Is it an app? Yes. Is it a program? Yes. Is it?
Yeah.
It just is. It's Edge.
it's whatever you need it to
It's
be.
whatever you need it to be, which is what people are going to see in a moment. So the Edge browser rocks, but just to set people's mind at ease, let's say you wanted to make Internet Explorer available to you.
The desktop.
The old
Well,
desktop
the-
version,
the
yeah.
mobile's not even
So
here.
here's what we do. We come in here and we're going to type Internet Explorer. We do a search. There it is. Simply go ahead and say pin to start. Once I do that, now here there's Internet Explorer. So you can still use it. You can pin it to your taskbar, however makes you feel good. It's still there. You can still use it. But I don't. So I'm going to unpin it because I'm all about the Edge for a number of reasons. So let's go ahead and open up the Edge. Now you notice it has an E that's reminiscent of Internet Explorer, but it's a little edgier. Ah, yeah. So let's go ahead. Steve, you want to go full screen? And let's open up the Edge. Now notice it's opening my last web page, which in this case was
Philadelphia MTC.
yeah, PhillyMTC.com. But I like to have a home page. You know, by default it does this. It's just going to open what you had last. But there's a lot of options how the Edge opens. So for me, I like to change that. So what we can do, I'm going to mouse over here, over to the side where we have ... and it says more actions. I'm going to click on that. And notice here I can do things like open a new window, new private window. You know, if you need to do testing with multiple logins and stuff, you can do that there.
Or you're buying flowers for your wife and you don't want her to know about it.
Don't want her to know that you went there. Yeah, you can do that. Find on a page so you can search, print to start. F12 development tools, open with Internet Explorer. That's kind of interesting. Send feedback, and the last is settings. So I'm going to click settings, and here I can do all kinds of stuff, including affect how or what page is going to open first. So first thing you notice is this: choose a theme. I like light. It's what I'm used to. But if you like the dark, if you like something edgier, you can pick a dark theme and look at that. It's kind of cool.
Talk about return of the start menu. We're going light to dark.
It's like Star Wars. We knew that was coming. Turn to the dark side, Luke. All right, so I'm going to keep it at light. It's what I like. But certainly, you know, if you're into edgier looking, you can choose a dark one. The next one's something I use a lot. show the favorites bar. I used it all the time in Internet Explorer, so I'm going to turn that on, and there are all my
I didn't.
stuff. You didn't. Well, bully for you. He thinks he's better than me.
I think I'm cleaner and edgier.
Edgier. Well, I like it because I'm old and I like to just have stuff there. So I'm going to go ahead, select that. Then notice what it has. This is where the rubber meets the road with what we were talking about. How do I want to open it? Open with. I could have start page. If I click that, you know, it'll have a start page. And what is the start page? It could be top sites and suggested content, or a blank page. I could say a new tab page. It'll open the old one plus a new tab, and then I pick what I want to have for that. Previous, this is what it was doing. The last page opened. Or in my case, what I would like, a specific page or pages. Now notice the options have changed here. And I'm going to go ahead and say, for this, I like MSN. It's my kind of my start page, but I could have it be Bing or custom. If I did custom, I could put anything I want here, right? I could delete that, just give it a web address. But I'm going to go ahead, I like the MSN page. So we'll select that. It also gives me the option that once you've opened, have each new tab open with, could be blank, top sites and suggested content. I'm just going to select top sites.
Okay.
There's some other reading things here. You know, you can have reading view defaults and styles. We'll get into that in a bit, and that'll make a little more sense. Advanced viewing settings, you can click on that. Block pop-ups, use Adobe Flash or turn it off. Use Caret browsing or turn that off. Privacy. So there's a bunch of stuff here, right, that we can do. What search address are we going to start with? What are you going to do with cookies? But I'm done. So I'm going to go ahead here and close up. And now that I've closed and come back to my desktop, now I'm going to open my browser. And sometimes it actually takes one time to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and open. Oh, there we go. MSN. That's what I chose. So
I chose this.
I chose this. So now I've got the way that I start. And you can come back off of full screen, Stephen. So, you know, first thing right off the bat for me that I find important is that I can customize how I start my screen, right? Now that we've done that, the next thing is, do you like to read, Sam?
We talked about this off screen. I can't read. I don't know how.
It's because you have lousy parents, isn't it?
Yep.
I understand they kept
My
you chained in a
father failed
closet
me.
for 10 years and didn't let you read.
Yeah.
No access to books.
No. But I'd like to learn what I could do if I could read.
You'd like to know what you could do if you could
then
read?
I could appear as though I am a reader, as they're called.
So you can appear as a reader. So let's take a look. So I'm going to go ahead and let's click on this. How to reduce the cost of college. So we see here this article, right? And it has multiple pages that are available. And I can scroll up and down in it. But notice with this article, a bunch of stuff going on. We've got titles. We've got navigation. There's all kinds of stuff. Ads. All this stuff, like, that's just
it
noise.
looks like it was even starting to try and get in the way of the article itself.
It is. It's crazy. So the Edge, though, has you covered. The Edge allows and really helps a user who's reading to focus on reading. So let's go back full screen, Stephen. And I'm going to come over here, and when I mouse over this little book here, the pop-up says Reading View. Now I can click on this or use Control-Shift-R. So either way, I can just use keystrokes or click. I'll just go ahead in this case, and let's click. And look at what it's done. It's removed all the clutter to the reading of the article. Now, if you had embedded images and stuff, those would show as well. But the ads are gone, the navigation's gone, all the share to social, etc. Instead, keeping you focused on the meat of the article. And here it is. So I can go ahead and read that article. When I'm done, ready to continue on with my internet adventure, simply come back here and either do Control-Shift-R or click back on the book like so. And then I get back to the original view. Simple.
Easy.
Easy. Now, let's say I wanted to read this article, but I don't have time right now. It's caught my interest, and I know I'm going to be offline or doing other stuff. There's a good chance I'll forget about it, or it'll disappear off of navigation. You ever have that happen?
Yeah.
You started to read something, and then you can never find it again?
Or I've started to pretend like I could read something. And then
Oh, that's right. Started to pretend. Yes, I get it. So in this case, if you were to pretend,
If I found an article that looked like it was,
because it had pretty pictures.
no, it looked like, oh, this is a really like academic article, but I want to be able to come back to that later so that when I'm sitting in a public place, I can have it on
Like
the screen.
pretending like you're reading.
Exactly.
So,
I'll put glasses on.
well, let's show you how you could do that. So, again, Edge has you covered. So with the Edge, let's go back full screen. And with that, we're going to come on over here. And here is that star everybody recognizes for, selecting as favorites. But notice when I mouse over, it says add to favorites or reading list. I'm going to click on that. And it actually is opening the way I had it the last time. So by default, it'll open and say favorites. And I could do like I've done in the past, select a folder, create a new one. But notice this new icon, reading lists. When I click on that, it gives me a name. I can actually alter the name if I want. Takes an image from it. And when I'm ready, I click Add. So now if I go ahead, let's close out of our browser.
Okay.
The Edge browser. We're going to reopen the Edge, which, whoa, should have went to my, there we go, my home page.
Maybe
And
it was because you did
Yeah,
it
I
really
waited.
quickly.
I did it too quick.
It thought you might have
It
accidentally.
had not flushed the cache.
Well, I might have also thought you accidentally.
That's
turned
true.
off.
It anticipates. So here, once I've done that, what I can do now is come over here to the hub. The hub is the place now where we see our favorites, our reading list, our history, and downloads. And so I'm going to click on that. And here it's showing history. I can see downloads. I can see favorites. But we also have
Reading list.
right. So I'm going to go ahead and click. And there is our article waiting for me at my leisure. I can go ahead and click on it. It's going to bring me there so I can read it. I also can come over here, and when I'm done and I say, you know what, I don't need that anymore, simply right click
And remove.
and remove.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. And so, very easy way to, and you can come back, Stephen, very easy way to, save stuff for further reading, to read unobstructed with all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I also like to share reading. I like to share with others. Maybe you want to share and pretend that you were that you were reading and
that makes the facade that much better, because then people are like, oh, he's sharing this article, he must have read it. And there it is.
right?
Then they
So
think-
what might you do to make it look like you've read it? Let's say you had a piece of paper and you wanted to impress people that you were reading this and you found certain things informative. What might you do
I
on
might
it?
highlight the words that are
Use
look
a
like
highlighter?
they're big, like a big word.
Big
like
word.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism, or maybe I would write that on,
If you could write.
if I could write.
But it might be difficult if you
I
can't
write that.
read.
I write that on the paper, and
You
then people would say, "What does this have to do with this article?" I'm also very impressed that you knew such a large word, and then
Sure. Or you could even draw on it, like circle
Yeah.
stuff. You could make a happy face.
Yep.
Things that make people
That way,
think
if I
you
share,
read it.
and also if I share that article, people could look at my doodles and think.
So I'd be able to write on all
inspiring
this,
talent.
share it with you, and you would think, wow,
Wow,
he
he did that.
he did that. Guess what? With Edge,
You can share.
the pen is mightier than the sword.
No.
The edge is in the pen. Because what you can do is, this could be the pen, your finger. Any touch-enabled tablet allows you to go in and select, and you can go on full screen again. This view here, it says make a web note.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like marking things up. Now I could do it with my mouse, or I'm going to use my stylus for my Surface 3 here, and I'm just going to tap it. And when I do, look at the thing that popped up. And we have here this article. We have a pen, right? We have a highlighter. We have an eraser, a note that we can add. We can even do screen clipping. When we're done, we can save and share this note, and then we can exit this view. But if I want to mark it up, let's say I picked a pen, right? And maybe I want to go ahead, pick a color. So we had green, let's pick red this time. And now to start writing, it's as simple as saying this.
That's pretty symbolic.
Cut costs.
Because college costs an arm and a leg.
An arm and a leg.
Which is red.
An arm with a hand and a leg. Clearly he read this because he drew an arm and a leg. Exactly. Related to the cost of college. So I can draw, but maybe I want to go ahead and, like you were saying, maybe I want to highlight that big word. Do we got any big words here? This isn't very, you know.
I wouldn't know, but, you know, this sounds
you wouldn't
official.
know?
Federal Reserve Bank.
That's very good for you, sounding that out and using your fingers and toes to do that, Sam. So let's go ahead. We've taken our highlighter, and again, we can pick the colors.
Green.
Let's do green. So
because that has to do with money.
Money. So now we're doing a, you know, hot green.
We could make that bigger, couldn't we?
We could make that pen bigger. Boom. Now it's gonna. Whoa! Look at that. Boom.
Well, wait, go back. Do it again.
Do it again.
Look, you can do it flat.
I can even do flat. So I can go.
It's like a real highlighter. Oh, wow. Look.
Like that?
It acts just like a highlighter.
It does. But maybe I don't like that line I just drew, so let's go in and click the eraser.
Oh.
I can erase that. Maybe I want to type a note in here. So I'm going to say, right there, boom.
I read this.
My note. Oh. I, in quotation marks, read this. Wink face. There we go. And then I could click out of that, you know, click something else, and then we're done. So it's cool. So I can mark up this page. When I'm all finished, we could save it, and or we could
share it.
Share it. Oh, look at that. And we have two ways to share. I could grab a OneNote, so maybe I have a shared OneNote, and it's going to drop it on in with all these views, or send it via email.
Could you email it to me right now?
I could. So I could email this to you, and let's do it from my Michael Gannotti at live.com. We're going to send it to Sam
Gannotti at live.com.
Live.com. Look at it. It's got a view of it as an attachment, and it lets me know Microsoft Edge Web Notes on 5 ways to dramatically, and then it says where it's sent, and then I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and click send, and that's it. Now you're going to get an email with a link to this. In fact, I could also share it even to my own self. You know, I could do, there's a number of ways we can do that. So we can share, open things, lots of things we can do. And you come on back here, Stephen. So I'm going to close that simply by exiting out, and then we're done, right? We're done with that particular page. So just another feature of the Edge browser. Another piece I want to highlight, you know, we just shared a note one, but notice here, and you can come back full screen again, there's also a share option just native for web page, and we get the same two options, email and OneNote, but it's just going to share this particular page and a link to it. So that is available. Again, we have some additional options for folks who are interested. We have F12 developer tools that are here, you know, so we can leverage that if we'd like. So boom. And here you go, we're going to get stuff like the DOM Explorer. So this is really for web developers and people who want to examine, you know, their pages and take a look at that. They have a console, debugger, network,
if I couldn't read
performance,
before,
memory.
I really can't read that.
Yeah, if you couldn't read before, Sam, you're going to really be in trouble in this view. But having said that, it's going to give a developer who can read code the ability to get in here and really look in depth. So great tools built into the browser. You know, really, when you think about the Edge browser, it is a browser targeted towards making life better on the web for users, but providing the power, flexibility, and tools that developers need to make a better web.
To be on the cutting edge.
On the cutting edge with Edge.
Edge.
And you only get Edge with
Windows 10.
Windows 10. So it's a beautiful thing. I encourage you to take a look at it when you get yours. Play around with the reading view, add stuff to your reading list, etc., etc. Customize the browser, make it look and act the way you want. You'll have a ball. You'll love it. The Edge, it is the new way to do things in Windows 10 for Microsoft. I have it not on all my devices, including my Windows 10 phone, and you could be loving it too. With that, this is Mike Gannotti with
Sam Gannotti.
We're here at the Philadelphia MTC for MTC Studios, talking about 10 Zen, taking all your worries about 10 and helping you to get more productive, quicker, and faster with it. Bidding you have a great day. Take care, and look for us in our next episode, which will be, what are we doing? Groove music. It is awesome. We're going to groove it. With that, take care, have a great day, and as always, ciao.